What's up, friends, and welcome back to my channel. So I recently spent a full day living what I would consider to be a biohacker's dream while visiting LA alongside my best guy friends, Shervin Shares and Kylegotcamera. From brain scans to cold plunges, float tanks, saunas, and even IV drip therapy, we got a chance to test out some of the most cutting edge and expensive health tech out there as part of a collaboration with Wellness District LA, which is a membership service that kind of works like ClassPass for biohackers, except that it comes with way more hands-on guidance and a ton of data-driven perks, which I'll get to in just a sec. So in this video, I'm gonna take you behind the scenes to show you how this service works and what you get for the price. I'll share with you the highlights of my day, including some of the biggest takeaways from doing a full brain map assessment and what you can expect if you do plan to get one, which you totally should, by the way. And finally, I'll explain where I think the future of personalized wellness is headed, because Wellness District LA has created a really unique framework here. And so I'll share with you my predictions for how this wellness by design model might become even more accessible and hopefully affordable with the help of AI. But before we talk biohacking, let's start with some very important intros. Friends, I would like you to meet the very talented Kyle at Kylegotcamera and Shervin at Shervin Shares, Chris Foreman, who is the brains behind Wellness District. This is Jacob Saldana. He is the breathwork coach and pretty much all around badass. And of course, our fantastic cameraman for the day, Brian Wilson. So just wanted to get you guys a little familiar with their beautiful faces, because each one of these humans will be sharing the spotlight with me in this episode. So let's move on to the actual day itself, which for me started with a little bit of fire and ice therapy at the Space Bar Wellness Center in Pasadena. So no actual fire involved here, but this treatment did include 30 minutes of heat stress in a sunlight and sauna, followed up by 4 minutes of intense cold therapy in the ultra lavish Morozsko ice bath. Now, I've talked extensively about sunlight and saunas in a previous video, which you guys can check out here. But since this was my first time in a Morozsko forge, I'll explain a little bit about what this experience was like, because yeah, I've yet to step in an ice bath this cold or expensive. So in terms of specs, as you'll see here, it's a pretty sizable metal basin, really designed for one person, that's actually capable of making its own ice. But as a result, there is a sheet of ice that forms at the bottom. So just a full warning, if you do plan to try one of these, it can get a little slippery getting in and out. But that aside, I gotta say the best part of this particular ice bath has to be temperature consistency. Each Morozsko comes with a digital controller that allows you to keep the water at a constant 33 degrees, no matter the ambient temperature around it. And so this actually makes for a really perfect fire and ice experience, since you know the water temperature isn't gonna get any hotter or colder no matter how many times you jump in or out. Now, granted, these ice baths certainly aren't cheap. The starting model, I think, is around $4 grand, but you do get what you pay for. And I can assure you that if you want cold, this was some of the coldest water I've ever stepped foot in. In fact, it was so freaking cold that I probably wouldn't have been able to stay in for a whole 4 minutes had it not been for the help of breathwork extraordinaire Jacob Saldana, who basically coached me through every single second of that plunge. Now, I got so much from this, and I think it's a really incredible way to experience an ice bath, so much so that it actually inspired me to do the same for friends trying an ice bath for their first time. Because when you do have someone by your side for support, a little bit of mental distraction, it does make the whole ice bath thing a lot less painful. Moving on to part 2 of the day, which was a brain mapping assessment and scan at the Vital Head and Spine Clinic in Pasadena. Now, the whole session took about an hour and a half and included both an AVA2 attention test and a QEEG brain map with some of the most advanced neurotech equipment I have ever seen. So if you do plan to get one of these done, well, this is what you can expect. You started off with a 30-minute visual and auditory test on a computer in a cold and damp and dark room by yourself. So super fun. And a quick pro tip, maybe not the best idea to schedule this late in the day if you're jet lagged, because you can't have any coffee or caffeine before the exam. And Yeah, learned that the hard way. But after some struggling through the monotonous clicking of all those freaking buttons for this mental exam, it was finally time for the brain mapping portion. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was ridiculously excited for this particular part, as it involved a very sophisticated head cap made of dozens of wires that plugs into a computer and then reads out your EEG brainwaves in real time. Super dope. Now, I have played around with a bunch of different consumer gadgets over the years, including the Emotive Epoch, but nothing of this caliber. Granted, getting the device onto my head was also a little bit of a struggle, as I am super ticklish, and so this is what happened every time they added that conductive gel to the cap. And there was a lot of gel. But all kidding aside, once that cap was firmly in place, it was time for the actual scan. So I had to sit still with my eyes closed for the first 10 minutes, and then again with my eyes open for another 10 minutes, or like 15, because I did keep dozing off. But then that was it. The brain scan was complete. So my brain was a little fried. My hair was definitely a little bit sticky for the rest of the day, but it was totally worth it. Because the following week, I had a follow-up call with one of their in-house clinicians who specializes in neuroscience to walk me through all of my results. Now, there was a lot to unpack, but one of the biggest takeaways I got, which sort of confirmed some of my suspicions, is that I'm a much better visual learner than I am an auditory one. Now, this might sound weird, but this might have something to do with the fact that I had a lot of ear infections as a kid. I think I ended up getting ear surgery around the age of 2. But regardless of why this is the case, the better question is, well, how do I deal with it now as an adult? And I was actually pretty surprised by his #1 recommendation. It wasn't take this expensive brain supplement or meditate for 10 hours in a Buddhist temple in Tibet. No, it was start with a microbiome test. Because in order for more advanced things like neurofeedback to take hold, you kind of have to start with a strong foundation. And that, my friends, is your gut-brain connection. Now, as a quick mention, part 3 of the day did involve a Myers cocktail IV drip at the hydration room, which is yet another service that comes with a Wellness District membership. Now, I personally am a little squeamish about the needle thing, so I decided to sit this one out and instead play some fun jokes on my friends Kyle and Shervin while they got theirs done. I didn't do anything. I'm not gonna do that to you.
And this is how Shervin Shares died.
Flick your wrist.
No.
So now that you got the full overview of our day, let's talk about Wellness District as a service itself, including what they offer and how much it actually costs. Now, for starters, this is a membership service, and it comes with 2 different pricing options. There's the $500 a month Passport or the $1,500 a month Deluxe option. And quick note, this only covers the LA region, at least for now. I know they're definitely looking into plans to expand this service, maybe to places like Austin and New York, so definitely stay tuned for that. But what's really unique about this service is that it's completely rooted in your own data. They start you off with a bunch of baseline tests, then hook you up with either an Oura Ring or a Whoop strap for your biometric data, and from there, they not only give you access to some of the most exclusive wellness facilities in the world, but also provide one-on-one health and lifestyle coaching the entire way. This business model intrigued me, and so I sat down with Wellness District founder Chris Foreman to find out how they use a holistic approach to address people's health.
We take people through 3 phases of a journey, and that first phase is the discovery phase. And what I find is that people are interested in why something is wrong with them. What happened to me? Why is there something wrong with me? And I want to fix it, and I want to fix it as fast as possible. And so what we do is, based on what their goals are in the beginning, we say, okay, we're going to start you with 3 things: a brain map, a spinal exam, and a medical exam, a full blood panel with all of the bells and whistles tests that you can get. And from there, we're gonna get a lot of data about what's going on in your body and your mind.
Now, what I really like about Chris's approach is that he really thinks of health like a pyramid, with the 3 elements of mind, body, and spirit holding equal weight in the journey towards self-optimization. The problem is that so many people get caught up in all the surface level, action-oriented stuff related to body and performance, but don't spend a lot of time processing what's actually happening in the mind and deep within our core.
What we do is we just help them start to draw the connections. Okay, the way I eat affects my mental health. The way that I exercise affects my sleep, and which affects my mental health. So there's all these systems in our bodies that are connected and they affect one another. And so I help them discover the relationship between their body, their mind, and their spirit, not basically like what Western medicine says is their relationship.
And so that's where this service really takes this idea of truly hacking your biology to the next friggin' level. And they don't just blindly tell you to start HIIT training or do intermittent fasting or whatever new trend is blowing up on Instagram. They begin with the true fundamentals, and that is your raw data. And from there, they use that data to create a structured plan that includes very specific routines and modalities that are really best suited for your individual goals. Which leads me to the future of personalized health and where I think this whole wellness space is headed in the next 3 to 5 years. You see, right now, Wellness District LA is really serving a very niche demographic of people including CEOs, entrepreneurs, and people who can afford to spend $18,000 a year on optimizing their health, no problem. But what if this type of wellness model could be automated using AI technology? I mean, think about it. Step one, you could complete all of the necessary intake exams on your own and then upload your data to some type of secure portal. Then step two, you could fill out an extensive questionnaire, and from there, all of your answers and all those data points could be processed through algorithms to turn out this perfect personalized health plan, complete with tailored recommendations on diet, lifestyle, and other wellness routines based on your geographic location. Obviously, this would take away some of the community-driven aspect of what Wellness District is building, but there would still be ample room to work with online coaches and really get all the benefits of these data-driven insights about your health for a fraction of the cost of what you have to pay for this premium level service that exists today. Now, I definitely don't see this happening for at least a couple of years, but I think Wellness District is definitely onto something with this very tailored and holistic health model. Of course, if you do want to learn more or even join one of their wellness programs or retreats, you can check out my link in the description below, along with a special discount code just for this audience. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to join me today. This was such an amazing, kind of once in a lifetime opportunity to not only collaborate with some of my favorite people, but also have the chance to really kind of explore this idea of health hacking, not just your body and mind, but the spirit aspect. And we had some amazing conversations. I really encourage you guys to also check out Shervin and Kyle's videos on this same topic. I think we all came at it from a different angle and had different takeaways, which are all super valuable. So shout out to both of those fellow YouTubers. And yeah, until next time, guys, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget about the notification bell. And until then, I cannot wait to catch you on the next one.